Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to join all of you here today. My name is Ron Nehring. I'm the director of the International School of Politics at the Leadership Institute. We're big supporters of the Jewish National Fund, and in fact, I just came from Israel, where we just launched our Leadership Institute in Israel Network at an event in Jerusalem. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about taking back the narrative and improving the effectiveness of pro-Israel advocates in the public policy space. So this talk is entitled Reclaiming the Narrative Through Story. So some of the common problems that you might see in presenters who are very familiar with the details of a particular issue is that sometimes presenters may come across as too insider, too abstract, too technical, or just too boring. And it's important to recognize that we don't want to try to convince our opponents of the righteousness of our ideas, but we want to convince the audience that's only marginally engaged of our side of the story. And so if we drown our audience in insider talk and jargon and data and abstract numbers, and this happened in 67, and this happened in 73, and this happened in 82, and da-da-da-da-da, that this is the reaction of our audience. And we don't want that to be the case. So how do we overcome that? How do we make our story more compelling? Well, the key is that in order to engage the full range of human emotions, you need to put the human element in the center of the story. It's not about facts, statistics, renderings, pie charts, or Excel spreadsheets, or projections, or timelines, or factoids from history, but it's stories that touch the human heart that are so important. You know, the private sector spends a lot more money on communicating with people than the public sector or the nonprofit sector do at any point in time. So they spend a lot of time understanding how it is to touch people on a human level, even if it involves something that's highly technical or technological in nature. They find a way to touch the human heart like this.
911, what's your emergency?
I have been in a car accident. My car slipped. There's water getting the car, and I can't get out.
911, what is your emergency?
I came out paddleboarding and a hard wind is pushing me out to sea.
Okay, do not hang up.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm here as a farm. I broke my leg straight down 21 feet. I sure need help quick.
Are you by yourself?
Yes.
Have you tried to get out? Have you tried to bust the window or something?
I'm pretty far out in the ocean.
I can't get to my cell phone. I'm talking on my Apple Watch.
Try to keep talking to me.
Okay.
I can't fight the wind anymore.
It's getting deeper. It's getting to my neck.
Please hurry. I'm hurting real bad.
You're going to seek help, okay?
I see them.
They're opening the door.
Hold on. Are you in an air pocket?
I'm just at the driver's seat.
Okay, but your head is above water?
Yes, sir.
Is that powerful? Absolutely, it's powerful. What did you not see in that ad? You saw no numbers, statistics, diagrams, jargon. You didn't even see the watch. That wasn't a story about a watch. That was a story about three human beings, Jason, Jim, and Amanda, who are alive today because of the watch. The story itself illustrated the product. And stories don't have to be particularly long to be effective. In fact, short stories are among the most powerful. I want to show you a clip from the British television program Top Gear. So hopefully there's some car people in the audience. And in this episode, the three stars are driving old, outdated sports cars across Argentina. And Jeremy Clarkson is driving a Porsche 928, which his co-stars say is a really boring, uninteresting sports car. But Jeremy Clarkson has a reason why he likes the car. And let's see if he has a good reason.
I know Hammond and May think my 928 Porsche is a bit dull. But for one very good reason, it isn't dull to me.
You see, back in 1994, I was living in London. I got a call one evening from my mum to say that my dad was desperately ill in a hospital in Sheffield and I needed to get there as quickly as possible. I'd just taken a chicken out of the oven and I thought, well, I'll take that for my mum because she won't have eaten, ran outside, and I had a 928 on test that week. And when I arrived in Sheffield, the chicken was still warm and my dad was still alive. In fact, he died half an hour later. And the truth is, if I hadn't have been driving a car which could sit quite happily at 170 miles an hour, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to say goodbye to my dad. So as far as I'm concerned, the 928 is all right.
So my question for you is, does he have a good reason to like the car? Of course he does. Can you argue with his reason? No, you can't. And there's only one number in that entire 1 minute long segment. It had to do with 170 miles an hour, which is a little bit of a stretch. But in any case, it was not loaded with data, statistics, 0 to 60 times, curb weight, G-forces, anything like that. It was a story about Jeremy Clarkson and his father. Remember, if you try to rely on facts and figures alone to make your case, for every time you have a fact or figure, your opponent is going to have a fact or figure that negates your fact or figure. They can always argue your facts, but they can't argue your story. That's why it's so important to put human beings at the center of the story. So I want to show you a JNF video from a couple of years ago that I show in lectures around the world. And first I want to show it to you. It runs about 3.5 minutes. And then I want to show you why it is that I use this as a great example of including the human element in the story. Watch repeatedly what's in the center of the screen in roughly 3/4 of the scenes. Have a look.
More than 100 years ago, JNF planted the seeds for a vibrant Jewish homeland. Today, our work is as vital as ever as we continue to build a nation.
We are turning the page on a new chapter of an ancient story, our story.
With every step we take, we're a testament to the bold vision and heroism of those who came before us.
JNF brings children from all backgrounds to play together.
You make lone soldiers feel welcome.
You have brought vibrant life to barren land.
And helped us to protect it.
So we can foster a homeland that helps every citizen to reach their full potential and create a place for people who need special care.
Giving access to all.
Today, we are a country with water flowing in the desert, making miracles happen.
And wisdom flowing to all corners of the globe.
We are investing in established communities, giving them the opportunity to grow.
And helping new ones rise from empty desert.
We are bringing the next generation of leaders to Israel.
And helping ancient communities adapt to a new millennium.
Thanks to Jewish National Fund, tourism is flourishing in the Galilee.
Be'er Sheva is the fastest growing city in Israel, and business is booming in the sands of the Negev.
We are forging the future our founders only dreamed of. We are not only philanthropists, we are entrepreneurs investing in the future of a country, of a people. Our work today ensures that the Jewish state thrives tomorrow.
Join us as we build a nation.
Join us as we build a nation.
Join us as we build a nation.
We are Jewish National Fund.
We are Jewish National Fund.
Your voice in Israel.
I've seen a lot of video. JNF produces such great work. I've seen lots and lots of JNF videos. This is the one that I show around the world in my programs, in part because of this. This is not a video about buildings and renderings and timelines and charts and graphs and projections and so on. Look what's in the center of so many of these scenes. The human element is right there front and center, because you can much more easily emotionally connect with a human being than you can with a thing. There are data points, yes, but look where they are. They're off to the side. They don't distract from the point. They complement and add credibility to the point. I'm going to show one final video to you today. It runs about 3.5 minutes. This is a Mercedes spot. Two things you may want to think of. Number one, why does Mercedes produce a spot like this? It's not a spot, it's a video, it's not a commercial. And then secondly, you may want to think of how much insurance did they have to buy in order to produce this? Let's have a look.
The relationship between me and my father is definitely unique.
So you see any people out here?
Not really. We're definitely very close. I kind of have more of a friendship with him than some of my friends and their fathers have.
Okay.
Today is a way to say thank you to my father, definitely to honor him as well, because of how much he's always done for me. My father's been blind since birth, but nevertheless, he's always been a huge car guy, just a total petrol head. And so that's obviously why he became a mechanic. He just loves cars and everything about them. The touch, the smell, the feel of them. My father's number one dream is to drive a car. I know he's never really gotten that experience. You know, most of us take that for granted every day. We just get in it. But for my father, that's the number one experience that he wants to have in his life. Today is definitely a way to say thank you to my father. If there's anyone that's deserving, it's him. And this is the number one thing on his bucket list. I think he's definitely going to be smiling and excited and just really surprised.
Oh my God. I need my daughter to help me. I can't.
All right. Here, come here, Bridge. Come here.
Dear Bart, we heard about your lifelong dream of driving all by yourself, and we are more than happy to make this happen.
I see where you're going to be driving, man. Holy crap. That thing goes on forever.
It would be you in this beautiful car in the endless desert of Alvoid Lake, Oregon. No boundaries, no speed limits, even better than the German Autobahn.
I don't know about that. Are you up for a ride? Your fans at Mercedes-Benz. No shit. Your loved son, Brendan. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right, and then I know you've already noticed these before. You got some paddle shifters there at your fingertips.
Right.
Yeah? So your left one's going to shift you down, and your right one's going to shift you up.
Okay.
Those are a ton of fun to play with.
Oh, okay.
So what questions do you have for me?
Nothing. Just
Nothing?
No.
Yeah. When can we start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys. All right. Are we ready?
Just go straight. Just keep it straight for now.
Oh, it's definitely cool.
This is awesome. You talk like a fucking train. Go. Smash.
How fast are we going? We're going right.
A lot of times. You're like going 110 miles an hour, dude.
My favorite part of that video was the part at the bottom where it says, close course, do not try this at home, of course. But That's a very powerful spot. Why would Mercedes go through all of the trouble to take a blind man out to the desert to be able to drive a car for the first time? Because Mercedes is very much invested in its brand equity. And that story brings to light. Mercedes makes, by the way, 4 times the profit per vehicle sold than Ford does. And so things like being able to make special things happen like that build their brand entity. Stories are essential for communicators to build brand value, to create the impetus for change, to persuade or to influence, to give insight as to what will be done with a gift, and to answer the most important question of why. Why is this important? Why should I value this? Why should I care? Why should you care? And the like. Stories are about people who go through an experience. And here are the parts of what makes for a story. It involves a person who experiences some type of triggering event. There's a quest or a journey. There are obstacles and failed attempts along the way. There's a turning point, and finally, there's a resolution. And there are 3 stories which everyone here should always have at the ready. One story is one that gives insight as to why you're involved with what you're doing. What brings you to the table? What happened in your life that brings you to this place where you're involved in this great cause? Second is a story demonstrating how you had a goal or a vision and you turned it into reality. You got something done. That's what we call a credentialing story. And it's important for organizations that are raising money to be able to show how they overcame an obstacle and they got something done. And then finally, a story demonstrating a need and how someone will benefit from whatever project you happen to be working on. One of the ways in which we take back the narrative is by having a narrative and being able to connect with people on that emotional level to offset and to augment the facts and the data and the hard side of the story which we have. My name is Ron Nehring. I'm the director of the International School of Politics at Leadership Institute and a proud member of the JNF USA board in San Diego, California, and it was my pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you very much.